You are standing at the edge of a flower garden before it blooms, soil underfoot, air still. The success of everything you grow starts here. Flower gardening begins with ground preparation. Ignore this and every later effort weakens. Look at the soil color. Dark soil signals life, pale soil signals exhaustion. Crush a handful in your palm. It should hold shape, then break apart. This texture tells you roots will breathe and drink without rotting. Early gardeners understood this instinctively. Medieval monastery gardens thrived because monks turned soil by hand and fed it constantly. They used compost pits beside the beds, rotting vegetable scraps, straw, ash from hearth fires. You should do the same. Work organic matter into the top layer. Use a spade. Feel resistance lessen as structure improves. The sound changes too. Hard soil rings dull. Healthy soil whispers as it breaks. Sunlight defines everything that follows. Flowers demand light with discipline. So, watch your garden through a full day. Track shadows, y'all. 6 hours of direct sun forms the baseline for most flowering plants. Less light? Well, that just produces stems that stretch thin and weak. Historical cottage gardens were placed south-facing for this reason. Stone walls reflected warmth and light. You can mirror this by planting near fences or light-colored surfaces. Water determines survival. Too much kills as surely as neglect. Early agricultural manuals warned against shallow watering. Roots grow toward moisture. Water deeply. Let it sink. Soil should feel cool below the surface. Morning watering matters. Leaves dry as the sun rises. Fungal disease loses its grip. Listen as water hits soil. A soft absorption sound signals good structure. Splashing means compaction. Plant choice shapes workload. Beginners fail by planting everything. Well, restraint builds success, y'all. Choose flowers suited to your climate and look for native species. They evolved to handle local heat and rain, you know? Roman gardens favored regional plants for this reason, and survivalists, well, they value reliability. Perennials return year after year and they anchor your garden. Annuals add color, but honestly, they demand more attention. Spacing protects health. Crowded plants compete for air and light, and, disease spreads faster. Medieval herbal texts emphasized space for airflow long before microscopes existed. When planting seedlings, leave room for full-size growth. Imagine the mature plant. Visualize width and height. Air moving through leaves produces a faint rustle. Silence, well, that signals overcrowding. Mulch locks in moisture and temperature. Straw, bark, or shredded leaves work just fine. Spread it thick, but keep it off stems. Mulch suppresses weeds, and, well, weeds steal nutrients and water. Early farmers mulched heavily to reduce labor. Go ahead and touch mulch at midday. It should feel cool beneath the sun. This buffer protects roots from shock. Feeding flowers requires patience. Fast fertilizers push weak growth. Compost now that feeds slowly. Bone meal adds phosphorus for blooms and wood ash supplies potassium. These materials appear in historical farming records for a reason. Scatter lightly, then work it in. Overfeeding creates lush leaves and few flowers. Balance, folks, produces strength. Pruning shapes behavior. Remove dead or diseased growth immediately. Clean cuts prevent infection, y'all. Always use sharp tools. Listen for the crisp snap of healthy stems. Dead wood, well, it sounds hollow. Regular pruning directs energy into blooms and, rose growers documented this centuries ago. Controlled stress actually improves output. Support really matters for tall flowers. Wind breaks stems without warning, trust me. Use stakes early and tie them loosely. Allow some movement, 'cause motion strengthens fibers. Rigid plants snap, but flexible plants bend and recover. This principle shows up in both horticulture and, interestingly, survival shelter design. Pests arrive quietly, almost sneaky-like, so inspect leaves daily. Turn them over and look for eggs. Hand removal works, you know. Early gardeners, well, they relied on observation, not chemicals. Introduce beneficial insects whenever you can. Lady beetles, for example, patrol aphids relentlessly. Avoid broad pesticides, because they collapse the balance. Disease spreads in damp, still air. Thin plants when needed, and remove infected material. Do not compost diseased plants. Burn or discard them. This practice actually dates back to medieval plague control in crops. Containment saves the rest. Seasonal timing controls outcomes. Spring planting suits most flowers. You know, soil temperature matters a whole lot more than just the date on a calendar. Cold soil, well, it really stunts roots. Go ahead and test with your hand. If that soil chills your skin, it's best to wait. Fall planting, though, it benefits bulbs and hardy perennials. Their roots get to establish while the tops just rest. This rhythm, it actually mirrors ancient agricultural calendars. Containers, well, they demand extra care. Soil in them dries faster, and nutrients, they leach out pretty quick. So use heavier soil mixes. Water until it drains right through. Then lift the pot. Its weight tells you the moisture level. Ancient traders, believe it or not, grew herbs in clay pots aboard ships using this very method. Garden layout, it really affects efficiency. You know, paths, they prevent compaction. Raised beds improve drainage, you know. Monastic gardens used rectangular beds for access and order. Go ahead and copy this structure. Order reduces mistakes, plain and simple. Every step should serve a purpose. Daily habits maintain control. Walk the garden each morning. Just take your time. Observe changes, smell the soil, and note insect activity. Early intervention, you know, prevents collapse. Gardening rewards attention, not force. Modern tools assist but do not replace judgment. Drip irrigation, for example, saves water. Soil tests guide amendments. Use them to confirm what your senses already detect. Technology supports experience, not substitutes it. A flower garden reflects discipline. Neglect shows quickly, but care shows even faster. Flowers respond to consistency. Feed lightly, water deeply, and observe constantly. Start small. Master one bed. Expand only when control feels effortless. This mirrors survival training principles. Secure essentials before scaling. Your takeaway is simple. Soil, light, water, and attention decide everything. Control those, and flowers follow. Apply this today. Prepare one bed correctly. Watch the change. Subscribe for more grounded instruction, and share this with someone who wants results, not just decoration.